Hey, Bulls and Bears, it's Monday, May 31st. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. As you are listening this or viewing this, I hope you're doing well. Hope you are relaxing and enjoying your time. Please remember there are people that are still working today, even though it is a federal holiday, especially in the leisure hospitality industry, the hotels, the restaurant food establishments, retail stores, gas stations, and the like. So please try to treat those people extra kind today if you can. There's so many people right now choosing not to work that I know that personally I've been making a conscious effort to be extra thankful and try to give a little bit more tips here and there if I can at different places that I go. But also remember those that have fallen, the actual reason for Memorial Day and the reason why it's a federal holiday. And whether you agree or disagree with the foreign policy of the United States, there are many that have given the ultimate or paid the ultimate price and made the ultimate sacrifice for the United States. Today we're going to talk more about the demise of the United States economy, and not just the economy, but the working conditions. Now, we've seen over the years many countries that have become big manufacturers and overtaken the United States in the past couple decades in manufacturing. A lot of them don't have the best working conditions. In fact, there's a lot more that can be said about some of these working conditions in some of these other countries. But I think it is coming to the United States. Now, so far we haven't seen it as far as the worst of the worst as working conditions deteriorate. But I think we're going to start seeing more stories like some of them we're going to cover today, because the more desperate people get for jobs, the more they'll be willing to take and put up with employers demanding more work for less pay. Now, why haven't we really seen it tip over the edge yet? Well, that's because there's so much assistance being handed out right now. People are not yet that desperate to take that entry level minimum wage job. People are not that desperate because we have all these moratoriums and forgiveness. Again, 19 million people living in households that are not paying either their rent or their mortgages. Right. Also, a lot of assistance being handed out, but some things are going to be changing here very, very soon. But first, let's take a look at what happened here since the economic shutdown about a little over a year ago. We see incomes have surged and they've risen by the most we've ever seen in such a short period of time. Now, normally when you have a shutdown recession and millions of businesses are shut down and millions more are shut down and never will be reopened again, normally you see incomes drop. That's the natural thing. That would be what a free market would be. Incomes would drop, prices would fall, you would see deflation, falling prices, not rising prices. But instead, because of the manipulation, the money printers, we saw just the opposite happen. Let's go ahead and zoom in here on a 5-year chart. Now you notice the spikes during when the stimulus checks are sent out, and then a rapid drop, a rapid decline. All right. Now this extra spending gives the illusion that the economy is somehow recovering. But we're going to debunk that myth here today, and we're going to talk about the continued deterioration of the working conditions here in the US, especially as more people get more and more desperate. Or will they just send out more frequent stimulus checks and people will not get that desperate? We'll have to see. But let's take a look at a couple of recent stories here. It's now up to 24 states with millions of Americans across these states that are set to lose unemployment benefits as early as June 12th. So it looks like starting in these states, people are going to have to make the choice. You're going to want to just not have any income or a severely reduced income when these extra unemployment benefits stop, or are you going to take whatever job you can get? And when that happens, we know that employers are going to take advantage of it. That's the name of the game. Get the most work you can out of your labor force, out of your employees for the least amount of money. That's business, right? So that's what's going to happen. Recent examples, Starbucks workers say they are treated like coffee making robots. This is out of Fox 5 New York. So I have known people that have worked at Starbucks, and they do tell me it's a very, very tough job. You're on your feet. You're constantly moving around. It's not an easy job. After an 8-hour shift, you'll definitely feel like you've earned your money and then some, especially if you work at one of the drive-through locations where it's really busy. You are going to feel like a robot. But something that this article points out is the demands from the customers for these personalized drinks or customized drinks. And we see this one right here. It's got like 10 or 12 different ingredients. And these workers, if they get something wrong, the customer's going to send it back and complain. So then they'll get in trouble probably from their employer if they get too many drinks that are sent back. And we just see that the conditions, are probably not the easiest at these types of places. And some people may look at these jobs as, easy because they maybe not pay the best. But actually, I've heard that Starbucks pays a little bit better than the typical fast food restaurant, and pretty decent benefits also from what I hear. But it doesn't mean that stories like this aren't happening, where workers say that they're being treated like coffee making robots. And the more desperate people get, the more they're going to be likely to put up with working conditions like this, and maybe even worse. We'll have to see. Now, another recent example, we reported on this one a few months ago when it came out. This is out of Vice News. Amazon denies workers pee in bottles. Here are the pee bottles. Now, Amazon initially denied this, and they even put out a tweet that said, quote, "You don't really believe the peeing in the bottles thing, do you?" Question mark. Amazon tweeted that out, but it was found out that it was really true. And here's actually a picture out of this article of a couple of these bottles. And then Amazon flip-flopped and actually admitted, and this was USA Today article right here, Amazon apologizes for denying that drivers pee in bottles, a long-standing industry-wide issue. And also out of this article, here's someone that says she worked for Amazon. Quote, "This is true. I worked for Amazon and was fired for taking restroom and meal breaks. I would get calls for going 4 minutes off my route to go relieve myself. Drive to your nearest delivery warehouse and you'll see pee bottles thrown on the side of the road." End of tweet. All right, so you guys let me know what you think about this. Not just these stories, but will working conditions continue to deteriorate as people get more and more desperate, as unemployment benefits, the enhanced benefits, are slashed in over 24 states now, 24 and counting. It could be more as of the time of this recording. Are people going to get more desperate and have to put up with situations like this, or are stimulus checks going to be the savior where people can just sit back and not have to work and therefore not have to take that entry level job? But what's going to happen with all these businesses that are going to have to wait to raise their wages to attract people to compete with the stimulus check? Is a small mom and pop business going to be able to raise their entry level wage to $20 an hour, $25 an hour? Who knows what it's going to take to attract people away from just not working and living on I think it's going to be pretty soon, monthly stimulus checks. All right, so it's going to get very interesting as things unfold, but I fully expect more stories like this to come out here about people being treated like robots, and could be even worse. People are going to be replaced by robots. We see all the automation going on, especially at the big companies like Amazon and their warehouses. So it seems like it's going to be to the point where you're going to be worked like a robot or replaced by a robot in many cases, which is pretty sad. But I hope everybody's doing well and relaxing today. And please, again, be extra kind to the people that are working. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay well. Keep stacking. Stay safe, everybody. Bye for now. Peace.